Good afternoon, it's Simon Lown here from Two-Way Digital, and on today's live we're going to be talking about who shouldn't be using SEO and not to use SEO if you only share, syndicate or curate content. So let us get started. Now, actually before we start, I'll just say, if you're on the live, just give me a hashtag live. If you see this on the replay, please do give me a hashtag replay below the video. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of these trainings, then please do subscribe to the channel, because at the moment we're doing them daily, and so there's lots of content coming your way. So, like I say, we're going to be talking today about who shouldn't be using SEO. And today we're talking about people using curated content. So that's basically just sharing, other content posts from other sites and using them on your website. Now, even if you're giving the credit and the link back to the original source, which you should be doing, otherwise that's copyright theft, and we don't want that. That's bad for everybody. Then using curated content, I'm not saying that it can't rank on SEO, but for the average business, somebody that's got their own, whether it's bricks and mortar or online business, and they're trying to promote themselves, sharing and curating content is not good. Or it's not that it's not good, it's not a way to actually build your brand and push out your own message, and it's not going to get you a lot of new business using that content. Original content is by far the better option, of course. I know that curated content and sharing content is an easy win, and it can make it look like that you're active on your website or your social media sort of profiles or whatever it might be, but it's not really going to help you in the long run. Now, why do I say that? Well, it's quite simple, because the only way that curated content gets ranked on the search engines is if you can get huge amounts of engagement. So you need people liking it and commenting, and lots of comments in particular, and sharing it. Now, if this is you, if you're only putting out, the majority of your content is telling other people, hey, go and look at this, or here's something I read today, or whatever, that's great, it's helpful, but why not switch that up? Read that piece of content, go and read a couple of other pieces of content, form your own opinions about it, and then write your own version as an original piece of content, because that is going to be far easier to get ranked on the search engines than sharing other people's content. Now, of course, as always, curated content can rank. There are people that do it. I mean, Huffington Post is an absolutely, it's a standout example of using curated content to really build a business, but that is their business. They are in the business of getting lots of people onto their platform. They've spent a lot of money, no doubt, as well as a lot of time on building that audience, nurturing that audience, and basically helping them to go viral. But the problem with that for small businesses is that unless you're a national or an international business, there's really no point in you doing that, because 99.9% of the traffic that comes to your site when you do things like that will never buy from you, because they're not in your area. They're not interested in what are, services or offers that you've got to sell. So ultimately, it's kind of self-defeating. You might take the time to build up an audience and go a little bit viral, and of course people in your area will see some of that virality. There's no question of it, but are they going to associate it with you, your business, your brand, the services that you offer? And are they going to put you top of mind when they come to buy a property or sell their own or move house? It's just it's a gamble, and so you'd be far better off putting all that effort and time and energy into building your own local brand, your own local celebrity, to actually make sure that that effort does reward you. And if that's what you're going to do, then it certainly will. Sharing is obviously, it's encouraged on most of the social platforms. You know, they put share buttons on everything. You get, even when you go to blog sites and things, there's share buttons on the side or at the bottom of the post to enable you to share it. And that's great for the creators. But if you're the one doing the sharing, then it's really not going to be that helpful to you overall. So, just touch on syndicated content. So, you know, again, syndicated content. Now you can actually, you know, pay for syndication services to get really great news pieces and stuff to put on your site. And you know, I'm not aware of anybody doing that in the property niche. But if you were, again, it's not something that's really going to help you build your brand. And so that money potentially, you know, unless you've got a strategy that, you know, is working for you already, to start out with that would be, in my opinion, not a good idea at all. So, you know, that's kind of covered the three main areas of sharing, curating, and syndicating. Now, if you did want to curate still, there is a way of doing it that can actually get you some engagement. And the way that you do that is, before you share the curated content, is you actually put an introduction to the content and maybe, you know, put some of your thoughts about it. And then after you've actually shared the content, you put either a summary or a closing statement, or ask a question that can get people engaging with that piece of content. Now, as I say, the only way you're going to get curated content to rank is by large amounts of engagement. And that's what, you know, sites like Huffington Post do, is they put a content up because they've got the big audience and they've spent the time and the money to build and nurture that audience. Something goes out, they get a lot of comments, you know, people all throwing in their 2 pennies worth. And because, even though it's content that's not original, what makes it unique is the interaction. So it's all the likes and the social interaction and the sharing and the comments, and that's what you need to try and replicate if you want curated content to help your business. But you're far better off being a content curator and just creating your own content. So a lot of people say, oh, you know, I'm not really a creator, I don't really know what to write about. Really easy way to get started is just think back today, yesterday, this week. What was the most recent problem that you helped somebody solve? Give that a heading, write about it. You don't have to name them, you don't have to call them out, but, you know, not without their permission. But you can just write about, you know, what was the problem, how did you solve it, how did you help, what was the outcome? And that can really be a simple way to get started creating content. And just do that regular enough, and soon enough you'll build up a nice little back catalogue of original content. Now, you may say, I'm not a great writer, my spelling sucks, my punctuation, my grammar, it's all horrible. Don't worry about that. Apps are out there, a lot of them are free or have at least a free element. You can use Hemingway editor. If you go to the Hemingway app, then I'll put links, you know, below the videos, and you can, you know, click through to those. Like I say, they're completely free. Actually, what you can use is, if you install Grammarly and you use one of the browser plugins, and then go to the Hemingway app, while you're writing in Hemingway, Grammarly will also do the spell, punctuation, you know, grammar checks on your content, all on the free plans. So there's really no excuse for not actually getting out there, you know, with your own original content. And, you know, like I say, there are tools out there that will help you, and it's really not an excuse not to create your own original content. And of course, once you've created it, it makes the perfect script to turn it into a video. So I hope you've got something out of this video. Give me a thumbs up or a like, or send a comment if it's of interest to you. And we'll be back tomorrow. We've got one more video with who should not be using SEO. We'll cover that tomorrow. And yeah, that's it for now. So have a good afternoon, enjoy the rest of your day, and take care. Bye bye.